Do you invest in websites? What footprints do you use to find websites to buy for a good price? And I'm going to pass that over to Nick as our resident website buyer
Oh,
extraordinaire.
website buyer. Yeah, I've been buying websites a long time. And when I talk about, this question particularly, we're not just talking about domains, but actual sites, varying degrees of traffic, monetized maybe for different reasons, or with the idea of monetizing in different niches, etc. Um, but the thing is, it always starts off with looking at the domain itself. So in analyzing domains, I use Ahrefs primarily to kind of get a broad view of what this website's going to be, about as far as niche relevance to the backlinks goes, etc. How powerful it is, all of that. And then, I'm going to look at, is this thing ranking for anything? It's basically the same as vetting a domain, right? Um,
It's
in
hard.
aspects,
I wonder if I just want to ask Patrick real quick. Patrick, if you're still here, are you talking about just buying domains, or are you talking about buying like actual websites that are making money already, like the actual, like an affiliate site or something like that?
oh yeah, I was thinking affiliate site.
Yeah, if you're still here, let us know.
Um, but yeah, okay, well, so we'll just talk about domains up front. But yeah, I'm going to use Ahrefs to look at the backlinks, the quality. I might use Majestic, I might use SEMrush, and I'll get, just kind of different viewpoints of what's going on in the backlink profile. Do the anchors look natural? Whenever Chris and I do an audit here live.
Websites.
Oh, okay.
So actually a money-making
Yeah,
website,
money
I
making
guess.
website. So it's still, like I guess when the website's built, sometimes I might sideskip certain things, like maybe it wasn't quite niched down to what it is now purposed for. But if it's ranking and it's been doing it over time, then I might be more inclined to do it, but I'll probably pick it up at a discount, right? But overall, what am I looking for? I'm looking for relevance. I'm looking for clean backlinks. I'm looking for natural looking anchor profiles. Um, if it's ranking, how well is it ranking in comparison to its competitors? How much room does it have to grow? So, like, is this niche? Maybe it's like a 15-page website, and I can conceptualize, 100 different keywords to go after off the back end of it. But ultimately, when you're buying a website, you're looking at the overall health based on the principles that you would use to analyze just any domain, whether it's got a website built or not. And then, you're talking to the person selling it to figure out how much profit it's making each month, and then what kind of multiplier you're willing to offer off of that monthly profit, which is typically 30 to 60x. That's kind of industry standard. Depending on where you find the website, you can kind of maneuver. What I really like is when I find maybe a newer SEO who's looking for liquidity. They've put a lot of time and effort into a project.
Yeah.
They've got a kind of good idea of what they're doing, but it's not quite solidified. They're not like super professional, but they're gaining their footing. And so maybe this website has pretty good keyword research. You could imagine that you could work off it. Overall, it's fairly healthy as far as the backlinks go, anchors go, etc. The content isn't too bad. Maybe it needs some optimization, but stuff that needs touch-ups, right? And maybe it's mainly hitting page 2 or 3 for a lot of interesting terms that could add up to traffic value. Well, that's easy because I know I can buy that project and then immediately, just due to the education I have on, what works, then I'm going to roll that into this asset. I'm going to, basically, it's all automated, right? Like, okay, optimization of content. We're going to start a new backlink campaign to it. And then we're going to start doing more keyword research based off the niche of this website. I personally, when I'm looking for stuff like this, I like the smaller sites, like I said, with an ability to grow. but that also are very niche down, because they're easier to build out and flip. And when somebody's done the keyword research on something that's really obscure,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have thought of, and they've got this website that they like, they're good SEOs, but like I said, they're newer, right? Then yeah, you've probably found a gem, in the sense that what have you done? You've already hacked the domain power itself, right? You've already hacked the need to start and build trust in Google because you've got all this content resonating, you've got things lined up, you can gauge the health of the site already, etc. And so, there's a lot of SEOs that will take this approach because you can get something at a fairly good discount and then immediately build it up, and it's going to resonate so much faster than if you start from scratch.
Yeah, so like a lot of what you're going to be looking for, I think it's going to kind of depend on like what your forte is, right? But if you're in our group, so I'm assuming you're an SEO and you're pretty good at ranking things, or at least kind of good at, or learning to rank things. So we're good at ranking things. The hardest part of the whole process for us is finding the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can find a website that has, it's a kind of like maybe a little bit more of an obscure niche that we never would have thought of. It's got some decent content on it, some thought out keyword research. It's already starting to pick up some links like so it's already starting to kind of resonate for things. Maybe it's on page 2, page 3. Maybe it's making a little bit of money, but not enough to really drive the price up really high for us. Those are the things we'd be looking at for a really good deal, right? Because then we can do what we do best, which is the rest of the equation. We can keep the content coming. We can start building, we can run a solid backlink campaign, and then we could really get it to ranking really high and making a lot more money, and then we could go and then either just keep the site or flip it.
Yeah.
For a much higher multiple, because we've got it making a lot more money at that point. So yeah, if you're looking at buying sites for a good price, you're basically going to be looking for sites that aren't making that much money, but that allow you to use your skills to basically fill the gap and get them to making the money that you think it's possible for it to make. And yeah, just to recap what Nick said as well, you also want to look at stuff that you're going to be looking for when you buy any kind of domain, which is overall site health. Looking at Ahrefs, what are the keywords and the traffic graphs doing? Does it look healthy? Is it kind of moving up, or is it really crashing, or stuff like that? Of course, look at the backlinks. It should look pretty clean. Don't go crazy if there's some spam in there. Everyone gets spam. Especially if it's like Web 2.0 spam. I think pretty much every site gets now. Yeah, of course, look at the anchors. You're just looking for things to look natural. You don't want it to look super manipulative, right? You don't want to see tons of exact match anchors. You basically don't want to see them using tactics that can work very well in the short term, but in the longer term might end up hurting the site.
Unless you're getting a discount on it, maybe you say, well, these backlinks, you tire kick a little bit. These backlinks a little wonky, maybe you give it to me a little less.
So yeah, maybe that, maybe you found a site that was actually making a little bit more money, which is going to drive the price up. But then you go and you look at the backlinks and the off-page SEO and Ahrefs, and things are looking a little bit too manipulative, and maybe the site's not looking too healthy. That might be a lever for you to drive the price down for sure if you're really trying to get a good price on something. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.